What's going on? What's going on? So, as many of you saw yesterday, I was at the Trump rally from the Ellipse where Trump spoke at 11. That people were at from lining up from 10 o'clock at night the night before to be there. At the Ellipse, I said this in a few videos probably, but the Ellipse, I looked it up. It's a 52-acre piece of land, and that fits 1.6 million people on its own. I put up some pictures and a couple videos, and you saw a couple of my lives. My camera did not do justice, and even with my camera, you can see the mass amount of people that came out to see Trump. I keep saying 3 or 4 million. I could almost imagine more. I mean, because it was only where I was at, and I would stand in one place for 30 minutes, an hour, and just people flooding one street, still walking past me for a whole 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just walking right past me, flooding our streets. And we could still see, from as far as my eye can see, more and more people, just wall-to-wall coverage of people. And what everybody's looking at is the 20 or so people who stormed the Capitol. I got videos. You saw some of them. I was literally right there as the Capitol was being stormed, as the clips that you see are on the news of people breaking through and going in. And so, for some reason, there's a guy with a camera following perfectly behind the cop, and the cop happens to be a cop for the Capitol building, and he happens to be the softest cop I've ever seen in my life. And everyone focuses on those 20. What about the 3,999,980 people that were all peaceful for an entire 2 days straight? I'm gonna call y'all out. I'm not gonna call y'all by name, but I hope you watch it. Some of y'all from my childhood, some of y'all from back in the days, y'all are a bunch of idiots. Y'all a bunch of dummies, and I'm disappointed in y'all. I'm not disappointed in North Miami Beach as a whole, my hometown, because the fact is there's more of us out there in North Miami. More of Miami is waking up than all of you couple little dumb stragglers who can't see past the little screen that they fit all of the stuff that they want you to see on. But you don't do the math. You don't put 2 and 2 together. You don't wonder how 4 million people that when you from now on, from 2016 until now, the word rally is synonymous with the name Trump. You will never ever see a rally ever in your life again as thick and as beautiful as a Trump rally. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my life, ever. Aside from church, from being in a church building where people are praising God. This rally, to see everybody coming together in total unity, blacks, Hispanics, Chinese, Vietnamese, Koreans, it was flooded with every race and every culture, everywhere, in total harmony. And then you see the storming of the Capitol, and I see people on my feed. I have never witnessed such unbelievable thing. I never thought in my entire life of living in America that I'll ever see this in America. Really? You didn't see this with BLM? You didn't see them completely burning buildings? You're talking about people going through a door, and you didn't care about the people that went through freaking windows and trashed businesses? Are you freaking kidding me? You didn't see this before? From Antifa? In Portland and Michigan and Minnesota? Are you freaking kidding me? And then people zoom in like, oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing. These Trump supporters, they're just so racist. You're stupid. You're an idiot, bro. Straight up. You're dumb. And I'm sad to call you part of my damn childhood. You people are idiots. Stupid as hell. All right? Think a little better, bro. Grow with the rest of the NMB. And let your mind soar a little better. What do you think 4 million to even 5 million, I can imagine. The amount was so massive, I can't even believe. What do you think 4 or 5 million people are doing in the Capitol? In Washington? Supporting Trump. You don't see that part. You don't see the fact that we spent 48 plus hours in Washington, D.C. and nothing went down at all, which is a surprise. You know why? Because at every single rally that I've gone to, Antifa's there. And nothing happens in the rallies. Everything's peaceful. We're literally singing songs to God at Trump rallies. There's pastors who come up. We're singing for 2, 3, 4 hours songs to God. Pastors are preaching. We're talking about God, 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 love of country. We're the nonviolent. We are the party that of law and order. We love to talk about it. We love to talk. Everybody there, every time, whites, all the white supremacists you think there are white supremacists there, white nationalists, all of them. Every time we hear a black pastor even, or a white pastor, or a Hispanic pastor, or a speaker talk about how Trump created the lowest unemployment rates among blacks in the history of the United States. You know what happens? The entire crowd roars, all colors, across all cultures. Everybody roars in happiness and pride that our president did that. This is our talking points. This is the thing that we champion for. This is the stuff that we're like, hell yeah. He brought low unemployment amongst the lowest unemployment among blacks in history. He brought the lowest number of food stamp acquisition amongst blacks and Hispanics in history. Most businesses built amongst blacks in history. This is the stuff we champion. And then y'all looking at the little things. The stupid things that the media interprets for you. Do you understand? Just think for a minute. All of these media networks, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, Washington Post, New York Times, all of them, 95% of every minute of every hour that they spent reporting on Donald Trump, it is negative. What do you think is going to continue? What do you think they're going to do? Oh, we've been saying negative, and once Trump does something good, okay, we'll switch it. For example, we were supposed to have a nuclear war with Kim Jong-un and North Korea. But instead, he becomes the first president to step foot on their land and shake their hand and bring peace. The first president in a while to not start a single war, not one single war. All that garbage that you said was supposed to happen, it didn't. The president who was putting kids in cages. Meanwhile, Joe couldn't answer the question, who built them? Obama and him built the freaking cages that you blame on Trump. Okay? But it's all a media twist. And you're too stupid. Too stupid. You're an idiot. All of you dummies from my old school, you were dumb, bro. You're an idiot. And I'm so sad to call you my old school. Y'all dumb. And y'all need to wake up with the rest of NMB. But you let the media, what do you think they're going to continue to give you? You think that they're human. You think for some reason that they're going to robotically report like fact checkers. Fact checkers they're computers or something. You think that they automatically just ding, check. That's a fact. That's not a fact. No, they're humans who hate Trump. And so they twist the facts. And when there's something that's clear, they'll say, missing context. And then they'll write the same thing that is true, but they'll throw it off with a couple of words to say, and get you all the way to the bottom of the thing, to twist what's going on and take off the emphasis on the real fact that they're checking. They'll take away the emphasis. They'll dilute it for you to think that they were fact-checked. All you need to see and read is that it was fact-checked. And you stupid fools, you idiots who fall for it are dumb. Y'all are dumb as doorknobs. You don't read past headlines. You are stupid. And I'm sad to call you my old school. Grow the hell up with the rest of the country even. Because somehow you believe that Joe Biden did what no president in 250 years could do. And every president that ever lived, that ever ran a campaign and did rallies for nothing. And Joe Biden proved that all you have to do is go in your basement, wear a mask, and have social distance circle rallies with 12 people in it, where it's so empty that cars can pull up into the rally right there next to the stage, and everybody's sitting inside of cars and beeping horns that you could hear the laughter of one single person down the freaking block. And that person got more votes than any president in the history of the United States. That guy, including Barack Obama. You're stupid. You're an idiot, bro. You're dumb as a freaking doorknob, my guy. Super dumb. So, yesterday, when I got on the platform where they were storming the Capitol, I noticed something. And you could see it in some of my videos. I was literally right beneath where this Capitol was being stormed. The entire platform everywhere was covered from wall to wall. I'm talking about, you gotta squeeze through people. All the stairs, the everywhere, the floor, all the grass. It was covered in Trump supporters, which is just something that you don't think about. You haven't looked at yet. You haven't considered how many people were out there to support Trump and how the hell Biden won. But wall to wall everywhere. But for some reason, right there, right at the door where they stormed the Capitol, and the only door that they're going in through, and supposedly this sorry little punk cop, how'd they get through the door? I mean, what type of building is this? What type of cops are these? I mean, what you mean to tell me the Mayor Bowser? She called the National Guard, but why weren't they there? In the most important place of the entire rally from yesterday and the day before, the most important place where if anything was to happen, it would be there. Why was the National Guard not there? And why was that little area where the door was, why was it, if you saw my video, which I can't post back up, if you saw my video, I was walking freely, like with space, ample space to walk through and walk right to the door. Meanwhile, every other square foot of property all around it was covered, completely covered in people. But here, where the Capitol gets stormed, and you get that nice zoom close-up footage, oh, they're breaking through the door, and you see all the scuffling and da-da-da-da-da. That's the part that you pay attention to after 48 hours of complete patriotism, love of God, and love of country. That's the freaking part you zoom into, you dumb fools. How stupid can you be, bro? But since you are stupid, we're going to go back to some of the stupid things that you still haven't let click in your mind, and you just let, you put your weight on, oh, maybe there's another thing. For example, I know many of you can check off if you just watch the video. For example, how they started this whole little game. All Mexicans are rapists. Donald Trump called that all Mexicans rapists. Watch the video, you stupid, dumb fools who can't see past the freaking, I don't know where you can see at. You people are dumb. Watch the freaking video. What does he say? Mexico, when they're sending us their people, the ones that are crossing the border illegally, when they're sending them to us, the ones that are coming over, those guys, the ones they're sending us, this is a word, they're sending us, they're not sending us their best. That's actually word for word. They are not sending us their best. What they're sending us is they're criminals, they're rapists, they're murderers. And you, like a dumb fool, let Don Lemon, and Anderson Cooper tell you he called all Mexicans rapists. Do you understand the difference? And you'll see that, and you'll watch it. And you'll overlook it. I've seen it. I've watched people face to face. I've told people face to face, and I'll show them the video. You see that? What does he say? Did you see He called all Mexican rapists. Can you point it out to me? No, they can't. But they'll switch the subject, or you can see the direction shifted. Oh, that one. But you know, they've been saying Trump's a racist for forever, so there must be something else. How about the calling all Nazis and white supremacists fine people? Okay, we'll show you that video. That's the best one. That's my favorite. I love that one so much because when you watch it, he literally says, not white nationalists and not white supremacists, because they should be condemned totally. Word for word, that is what he said. And then he said, but you did have on both sides very fine people who were coming to protest the taking down of history. Simple. That's it. Like me. I'm not a white supremacist. Anyone who thinks or imagines such a thing is the idiot that I'm talking about. The dumb fools who can't see right in front of their eyes. I'm not a white supremacist. But I have a problem, major problem, with the taking down of our statues. Why? Because I am so anti-racist that I hate it. It's racism to take down our history, and you think it's for you, but they're burning the books that tell your story, you idiots. They tell your story, and they take down those books, they take down those statues, and they take down your history, and you think it's, yeah. They label it with a Black Lives Matter sticker, and they put it on a bottle of bleach, and you drink it like it's apple juice. They stick it like a little sticker there, and you love it. Ooh, BLM, yay, that's for me. No, you're stupid, and you buy into the foolishness. You're an idiot. But they put the little sticker on there, BLM, and that's it. That's all you need. Did you know that Margaret Sanger wrote a letter and said we cannot let the Negro population know what we are trying to do, that we are trying to depopulate them. We can't let them know. She also said we need to get a black physician to get more blacks to follow the black physician and get abortions. If we get a black physician, you know that little Black Lives Matter sticker? You stick on a bottle of bleach and drink like juice? That's the sticker that they're still using, you stupid dummies, man. I'm pissed. I'm sorry I keep calling everybody stupid, but my goodness. This is like we've gotten to a level of pure idiocy, pure empty-brained, empty-headed nonsense that people can't see past the facts right there in your face. I do it all the time. I have so many friends who try to comment and tell me, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Never actually any substance. Nobody ever gives me a fact. They just hear the headline and tell me, oh, look what CNN says. What do you think about that? It's CNN. I think exactly what they said. I'm waiting for them to tell me a lie. I'm not thinking CNN and saying, oh, let's see what they say. I don't believe CNN for a single minute, or MSNBC, or Washington Post, or New York Times, all of which who hate Trump and all of which who have Democrat CEOs. Look it up. All of their names. Jeff Zucker is a Democrat who hates Trump with a passionate heart. He owns CNN. Mark Zuckerberg, he owns Facebook. He is a Democrat. Look it up. Google, the most powerful company on the face of the earth, who has everybody's information everywhere they go, everything they search up, all the things they like, all the things they buy, everything they are interested in, all of it. They have all that information, and they are gathering it and putting up a profile together of you. The most powerful company in the entire face of the planet, who has even the capacity to become its own government, Google, is owned by Sundar Pichai. He hates Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump. So what do you think you're gonna get every time you look up a search? You can do it yourself. Go on YouTube and try to look up, I don't know, Pedowood. First, you're gonna find CNN, ABC, MSNBC. You're going to find all of their buddies at the very top of the search list so that you get tired out trying to find, just tell me about Pedowood. Like whatever information there is. Not the guy saying these baseless claims and these conspiracy theorists and these wild, radical, right-wing activists. Go to the source. Read the actual information. The real ones. I don't do conspiracy theory. I watch stuff, I read stuff that's official, that I can substantiate. I don't like having conversations where somebody can call me out like this, like I do to everybody else, and who switches the subject and goes to something new because they finally see that Trump never called white supremacists and Nazis racist, ever. Or when he called supposedly Haiti S-hole country. Ask a Haitian. It is. It is. It's a garbage country, but because they're black, you think that's what the focus is. No, the country is trash. I'm Dominican. We share the land. It's a trash country. And a Haitian will tell you that. You don't appreciate the realness of Donald Trump. And what you look at is the emotion and the little squirmy, wiggly feeling that you feel inside that these Democrats have instilled in you to be this soft people that I never grew up with. And that's what you buy. The little mushy wording of it. Oh, but he called them asshole countries. I can't believe it. He's not presidential. Who are you people, man? Where did you come from? So, 4 or 5 million people. You don't know how close you are to your own demise, to the end of all the freedoms and liberties that you have. Okay? You think that this mask thing is just, put on a mask, who cares? You can't, people, in order to, for example, in order to learn a trade, when you're just reading the book, the textbook on it, you don't really learn that trade until you attach a by hand physical action to it. Like, you do the thing that you're reading. And you need that. You need that in order to learn things. So what they do is you have to have physical, you have to have hands-on. And that's what they do with the masks. In order to make people obey and make people follow the idea of this coronavirus, which these are not fake numbers. You can quote the hell out of me on it. Coronavirus has a 97+% survival rate. What happened to influenza and the flu? Just look it up. Not by me, not because I said so, not some conspiracy website. Look up the CDC, your buddies, your heroes, the guys who are telling you to put on a mask. Look up the CDC and find out what happened to influenza and the flu. It's gone. It's been at a steady pace for the past decade or plus. And we've been able to see, okay, 50, 60,000 people die, whatever the number is, 60, 50,000 people die every year. It goes up like this. You see the graphs, always there. For every single year for the past 10 years, you see influenza and the flu. You see it there. It's always there, always there, always there. Literally at the very moment, on March of 2019, of 2020, March of 2020, all of a sudden it drops to almost 0 people dying from influenza and the flu. This is not conspiracy. It is on the CDC website. It is a real, legitimate question. But we've been trained to imagine, oh yeah, it disappeared. Illuminati, reptilian shapeshifters, that's what it must mean, right? No, it disappeared. And there's something really strange about it, legitimately. There's something extremely strange about it. And you can't say, there's no possible way that you can possibly say for a fact, 100%, that influenza disappeared because China brought the flu here, the COVID-19 here, and they made it happen, and it's a biological weapon, and it's fake, and it's not as real as they're trying to make it to be. You can't do that. It's just not possible. It's impossible because you have to literally get to 0% chance. And that's hard to do. It's impossible to do. It's like winning the lotto 100 times in a row. It's just not easy to do. And you think that's Because of that little percentage, even if it's 0.0000001% chance that maybe it wasn't that they disappeared the influenza and the flu. Maybe it wasn't. That 1% chance is the one they taught you and trained you to lean on. Like dummies. Like pure idiots. Every year, people die. And less now through COVID-19. From influenza, the flu. COVID-19, even the CDC. I don't know the number now exactly. But I will tell you, for example, from just as an example, August 31st, I put up a graph of 2020. And I think it was out of 180,000 people who died with COVID-19, keywords, this is from the CDC. I put up a graph from the CDC itself. Out of 180,000 people who died with COVID-19, only 10,000 died from COVID-19 alone, all by itself, no other thing. The other 170,000 people who died with this is, the wording is so important. People don't look past from and with. This is CDC. I promise you it is. Look it up yourself. They don't make it easy. They make you read. They make you go through it and have to put numbers together. They make you do that. That's intentional. There's not a robot who puts this information up that just bing 180,000 bing the graphs bing a graph is made. No, this is not how it works. It's human beings who put up these graphs and write these words. They type it and they put it together and there's masters. There are people who are masters at the art of wording things psychologically to make sure that they can stay within the legal confines but stretch it out so deep so that when you're looking and searching to try to figure things out, it's a mission. And you get tired out. At least the mass of the population. Not me, though. I look, I search, I read. But the mass of the population doesn't. So when you go to the CDC, the other 170,000, please consider this number. 180,000 people died with COVID-19. Out of the 180,000, 10,000 died from. The other 170,000 were from 65 years old and over. The normal average death age in America, the people who die of that age regardless, not only this, the other 170,000 that died with COVID-19 died with at least three serious, severe underlying issues like cancer, HIV, like real leukemia, all kinds of things that are just deadly and they're gonna die. But they had COVID-19. COVID-19 was present in their bodies. Did you know? From this time in October of in August 31st, when I put this graph, I don't know the number now, so I'm using that graph just to give you an example. I think it was 15 million people out of 350 million people in the United States. 15 million people tested. This is another important thing to understand. The ones who were tested. 15 million people had COVID-19, were positive for COVID-19. Or 15 million people tested and 5 million positive. Or negative. Anyways, the amount of people that catch COVID and the amount of people who are tested, 90% of them have COVID. We all got it. Many of us have got it. Many of us are asymptomatic. And it's just in there. It spread. COVID spread everywhere, all over, all across the entire country. But it didn't kill the amount it spread to. It didn't kill them. So it's present in their bodies, and then they die, and it's present, and they die from cancer, they die from AIDS, or they die from all these other sicknesses. 3 simultaneous severe sicknesses present in these people's body. The others 170,000. That means they died from that, and they had COVID just like everybody else does. And COVID was the cause of death. Or COVID, they word it. They say it. CDC says it. COVID was present in their body. And then they say 180,000 people died of COVID-19 this year. Not only that, 62% at that time of the people who died from COVID-19 died from 5 states out of the 52. 5 states. All 5 states were Democrat-run states, Democrat governors, all 5. All 5 states. All 5 of those states, they chose to put COVID-positive patients in nursing homes with other susceptible, sensitive immune system people. 62% of that 180,000 died in those 5 states in those nursing homes by 5 governors who made it happen. Fact. An actual fact. Quote me on it. So, I'm on this COVID-19 thing just as an example of how hard they can lie and how hard they can control you to believe all this stuff. And they spread out all the information and stretch it out so that when you're trying to look and search, it's too many people saying it and too many things to read, too many people, too many links to look up. And they'll make you tire you out and make you find the real link that's telling you the real truth after going through a major search and getting all the way to the very, 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 very bottom. And before you get to the bottom, you skip. I'll click on CNN. I'll click on MSNBC. But back to this rally. This rally was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This thing was so incredible to be a part of. Totally peaceful. But somehow, nobody sees that this is the one they highlight. The 20 people that stormed the Capitol and went in by some really, really soft police officers who are walking backwards upstairs with a baton alone. What are they doing on the front lines? And then suddenly cops with guns come. The other ones that were there. What are they doing what are the softest ones with a baton alone and a camera phone following the guy with a cop with a camera phone following the cop in front of them as they run backwards to catch a perfectly staged scene? What are they doing? Why don't we ask these questions? You thought Trump was a racist because of the Mexico thing, because of all of the very fine people thing, because he wasn't helping Puerto Rico. All of these things turn and slap you in the face. Puerto Rico was hiding the food that Donald Trump was sending, that the Trump administration was sending. They were hiding it in warehouses. Puerto Rico's own government was hiding it in warehouses. Then they brought you Stormy Daniels. Did you ever find anything that actually did happen? They keep saying it, but did they ever show you anything? Was there audio? Was there a video? Did you see any documents at all? Like official documents? Did anyone ever see an official document? Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's lawyer, he's in jail for lying, and they couldn't get Trump, the one they all hate so damn bad, they couldn't get him to go to jail? They got Michael Cohen, the lawyer, the one who's went to school to not go to jail or to teach people on keeping people out of jail. He's the one he's the one who got locked up. Avenatti extorting Michael Avenatti, who was the hero for the entire Democratic Party, who's going to save the day, extorted Nike and stole money from Stormy Daniels, who he was representing. These people are all crooked. None of the stories that they've been making you rely upon, and the ones that if this one doesn't work, you'll lean on the other one that maybe was true. None of them. Go back through all of them. Every single one of them. Every claim that Donald Trump has ever said, he's ever said anything racist, every one. I dare you find any one, not even one single, and not find a real, legitimate, critical thinking way around it, like the S-hole countries. It's not because they're black. It's because Haiti is garbage. But they trained you to focus. Black, that's what it was. No. Try to use and use that thinking to figure it out, to really map it out for your own good, because I promise you, I guarantee you 100%, Joe Biden steps foot in that office, if he gets inaugurated, we are finished. We're done. We will never, ever, ever have a fair election again. Ever. We will never, ever have another Republican in office again. Ever. It would always forever be Democrats from that point on. Up until the few years before they sell us to China and we just become owned by China fully. Or we become the United Communist of China. So, try to use your brains, bro. Try to use your brains. Do the math, for real. Because you don't know what is lurking at the door. We're only days away from the possibility of ultimate greatness through Donald Trump, or the worst years you have ever seen in your entire life. Ever. Real, legitimate threats of control like you've never ever seen it. Stay-at-home orders like you've never ever seen it. Closing churches like you've never ever seen it. Drag queen story hours like you've never ever seen it. 2-year-old transgenders like you've never ever seen it. Bro, don't be idiots.